Hate Army General saying hate Army shit. Hate Army. If your name is Hate Army, cool. I can't wait to see what it looks like. One thing that I would like to announce that's kind of interesting, okay? For the first time ever, one of my actual YouTube shorts did get a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of viral popularity. A tiny bit. Up to this point, all of my YouTube shorts have essentially just stayed within my own circle of viewers or haters or both, and never really broke out of that. They just stayed in that one family, that one circle. And because of that, they never really get much viewership. I'm just going to be honest here. You know, YouTube shorts, YouTube shorts, when basically YouTube shorts go live, okay? What's supposed to happen is they're supposed to hit an algorithm based on the tags that you put on the shorts, so anyone searching for those topics should find them. It doesn't work. It just doesn't. It has to be like a trending topic, and you have to be one of the channels that's kind of seen as a channel that could hit that algorithm. If you're still one of the channels like mine that sadly has been around for 12 years and rarely hits the algorithm, your shorts won't hit it either, okay? So I've been doing YouTube shorts on and off now for, 3 months? Something like that. And the most viewed YouTube shorts I've ever made were actually the first ones. Like, the first short I ever did was when I announced I was doing YouTube shorts. And then the second short I ever did was me announcing the copyright strikes that had hit my channel over the summer that were false had been removed, and we had won. Okay? So each one of those had, like, maybe I want to say 12,000, 13,000 views over the course of 3 months. And that's pretty high for anything on my channel these days, you know. To name one video that got 12, 13,000 views. Hell, not a single video of my God of War Ragnarok playthrough has hit that yet. So, if anything, yes, the shorts are definitely getting some more attention. But I do have a YouTube short that has topped everything else. It was one of the shorts, and I released several shorts for my Sonic Frontiers playthrough. But one of the shorts that I released was when I had captured a Chaos Emerald, and I was doing some open world stuff, and all of a sudden a random enemy, which I didn't even know existed, came out of nowhere, grabbed me, stole one of my Chaos Emeralds, and ran away. And I tried to follow it, but as I jumped and tried to dash towards it, the camera rotated in a weird way and made me dash towards the camera. Now, in any game, would you ever want to dash towards the camera? I just want you to think about this. Even if you were playing a game, you're taking evasive action from a boss. Why would you want to dash to the camera? Then you can't see, right? So obviously, this was not an intended thing. This was a mistake. And as I dashed towards the camera, I now couldn't grab a rail. There was a railing I wanted to grind on to get back to the enemy, and I couldn't do it. And I lost track of the enemy, and then I couldn't get my emerald back. And I proceeded to rage about it. I was like, what the fuck? Like, why the fuck is there an enemy that steals your emerald? And now I can't. Now what do I do? My emerald's missing. What do I do? And I freaked out about it, okay? Now, I even titled the short something like, you know, what happens when an emerald gets stolen, you know, language warning. I even put that in the title because I swore so much during this YouTube short, okay? So, when I initially put out this YouTube short, and this was about over a month ago, you know, this was during the active playthrough of Sonic Frontiers. It didn't get much traction at all. I remember putting it out, maybe it had 1,000 views. Maybe it got up to like 2,000. And that was it. Then it just kind of, it steadied out. Which is pretty much what happens with all my YouTube shorts. Initially, they get a little bit of attention. And then they peter out. And then no one cares about them anymore. Okay? For some reason, I wasn't tracking this short because I didn't really care. All of a sudden, like last week, it blew up in popularity. So that's pretty crazy, right? That is pretty crazy. And, you know, why? You got to look at something like this and scratch your chin. Why did this particular YouTube short explode in popularity in the last week? I have no clue. Did anything happen in regards to Sonic Frontiers in the last week? No. No, not particularly. My playthrough of Sonic Frontiers has been done for weeks, right? Is anyone talking about me in any big capacity? No, not to my knowledge. In fact, it's been quite quiet. People have not really been talking about Dark Side Phil, which is a good thing. The less people mention, the better, because I could just enjoy my streams and not have drama and shit around me, right? So I'm just kind of like scratching my chin. I have no clue why this particular week, this YouTube short of my Sonic Frontiers playthrough somehow hit the algorithm and now people are seeing it. But all of a sudden, every day I check my YouTube comments and I'm noticing 5, 10, 20, 30 new comments on this video. I'm like, what the hell? Where are these comments coming from? And you could tell these are comments from outsiders. Some of them are even, one of the comments was like, why is Darkside Phil in my recommended feed? I don't watch him. And I'm like, weird, right? So there is something about the YouTube algorithm that is so weird that something that you did a month or two ago could hit it now and become popular. How does that even make sense? So just to give you guys some perspective, within 1 week, this YouTube short of Sonic Frontiers went from like maybe 3,000 views to 14,000 views and climbing. Within 2 days, it gained 5,000+ views and is still going up. And I just don't understand it. I'm really confused about this. But again, how does this work? I don't know. I mean, does it give you DSP Gaming more exposure? Yes. Right? Someone named Sup in the stream chat says, Phil, I hadn't been watching your channel for a while. I suddenly found that Sonic short the other day too, and I was reminded of your channel, and now you're here. It's weird. How does this work? If only YouTube were transparent about these things, right? Like if you, now we know this short somehow is popular. Could I analyze it, right? Like, could I look at that short and could YouTube say, hey, here's why? Because this trend happened on YouTube and your short fit into this trend and there you go. Or, who knows what it could be. But why is it that one short hit the YouTube algorithm and none of my other ones have? Because I'd like to keep making shorts in that method because the whole point of doing a YouTube short is supposed to be exposure. You're exposing your channel to a wider audience so more people might come check out your channel. And yes, that moment of the Sonic Frontiers playthrough, I would argue is pretty representative of something that would happen in a typical stream of mine. I'm just having a normal play session, something completely random and unexpected happens, and I react to it, There you go. So, weird. I don't know. And again, if I had known what it was that caused that to be popular, I'd probably try to focus on that. Because I'll be honest, it's hard for me to figure stuff out. For example, the other day, I was playing Warzone. And as I was playing Warzone, 2 funny moments happened. There was a moment where someone had stolen a car that looked like a white Bronco SUV, and they were driving down a highway, and following them was someone in a chopper just like flying above them. So I used my sniper rifle, and I followed them like this, and I'm like, this looks like the O.J. Simpson chase from the 90s, right? And people thought that was hilarious. Now, at the same exact session, I had died, and I'd gone to the Gulag. And in the Gulag, there was a pretty epic showdown where I shot one guy, I turned to fight the other one, and he hit me with a shock stick, but I just happened to maintain my handgun aim, and the handgun went off by itself, and it murdered the guy, so I basically got a double kill in Gulag, one of which I didn't even really control, it just happened. So then I'm like, wow, not only was that epic, now let's drop. So I get my revive drop, and as I'm dropping, as I'm landing, someone snipes me. So it was like, damn, all that epic work in the Gulag ruined because someone was already ready for someone to airdrop in and murder me before I could even touch down. So it was pretty much an epic segment of about 60 seconds. So I clip it, as a short, and I put it up. As of today, that YouTube short has only gotten 1,400 views, and that's in several days. And I thought that was the better clip. I thought that would be a good one. Now, here's another example. When I was playing the Callisto Protocol, okay? After my first day playing it, launch day, which was the Friday it came out, okay? I played it for 5+ hours, all right? And after I played it for 5 hours, I put out what I called my honest thoughts on the Callisto Protocol 5 hours in. And in this 60-second clip, I explained to everyone what I really thought about the Callisto Protocol after having played it for 1 day. And basically, it was that I don't think it was nearly as bad as people said it was. I think a lot of people over-exaggerated to jump on a bandwagon of hype and try to get people to pay attention to their content, or they were irresponsible reviewers, okay? But I personally said, wow, I really like this. And there you go. So that clip has over 7,000 views, all right? That short. which I'm happy for. I'm glad that thousands of people saw my opinion and maybe have given the Callisto Protocol a shot as a result. But then when I beat the Callisto Protocol, okay, I actually did a mini review of it called My Short, Honest, and Fair Review of the Callisto Protocol after a 14-hour playthrough. Now, you would think a video like that more people would be interested in, because here's a full review as opposed to the initial thoughts after only 5 hours. Here's my full review after 14. That video only has like 2,000 views. It doesn't even make sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't logically explain why anything these days on YouTube seems to take off. One short that sounds way more interesting or attractive to an audience does better or does worse than the one that doesn't. I would very much watch a 60-second review over a 60-second initial impressions. I'm at a loss. You know, I scratch my head. I don't get it. So here's the thing. Do I enjoy doing YouTube Shorts? It really depends. I'll give you an example. Yesterday, I actually wanted to do a YouTube Short on my day off. Absolutely, I did. I had a moment that I had remembered. This was from my last session of Warzone. I remember that during that last session of Warzone, at one point, I did an improv song. I was running around, and I think it was a Christmas tune. I can't remember what it was. But I remember running around in Warzone, and I started singing for like 20, 30 seconds a Christmas song with improv lyrics that were to Warzone, and people loved it. They were laughing their asses off on the stream about it. And they were like, you should clip that. That should be a short. I can't remember when it took place, and no one left a comment on the video to tell me when it was. So here I am yesterday. You know, my wife is preparing for our day off. And so I'm like, okay, I got a little bit of time to try to find this. I spent 30 minutes combing through the Warzone videos. I can't find it. And this is a problem with YouTube Shorts, is if you're a streamer or a content creator like me and you're prolific, if you're not someone who only does a few things in a small period of time. By the way, I just kicked my camera again, which likely fucked it up again, which is why the camera keeps fucking up this week. If you're someone who puts out as much content as I do, okay, it's very challenging to remember these moments that are interesting or epic moments. Okay? The other problem is you can't just put out a short right away. All right? Here's how it works. Obviously, you have to upload the video first. The video then has to go live and, you know, pass all of YouTube's checks and all of that. And then even has to go further than that. It has to fully publish and every quality and everything. Okay? So once you're done with all of that, then you can create a YouTube short out of it, but you can only create a YouTube short on your phone using the YouTube app. I know that sounds stupid because it absolutely is. There's no way to do it more professionally. Here's what I found out some people do. They have video editors. Okay? So for example, if you're someone who's a daily vlogger, or you're someone who does news articles or drama stories, you would actually pay a video editor. And once a day, that person would scour your content for what they would determine are notable moments. They would edit those moments into a clip that's the aspect ratio of a phone. I know this sounds weird, but this is what they actually do. Okay? Then they upload that catered clip, okay, to YouTube as a separate video upload. And then that content creator would say, here's a clip. And it really isn't a clip. It's actually a custom-made video that they're saying is a clip, and it's not. It was already made outside of the clip's process on YouTube. You're just selecting that video and saying, here's a clip for today. Because it was weird, because I was watching certain YouTube shorts, had all this editing to them. I was like, you can't do that. Like right now, if I wanted to make a YouTube short out of a video I did the other day, there's 0 options to edit it. All you can do is say 15 seconds, 30, 60 seconds, and you can add some text over it. You can't cut around. You can't change perspective. You can't even change where you're looking. You can only look dead center or to the right or left, and you know what I mean? So basically, the only way to do a quality YouTube short is to be a professional video editor. to already have the raw materials to chop up yourself, make a great short, and then upload it as a separate video, and then say to YouTube, oh, use that as a short. Okay? So it's really stupid. But that's how people do it. Because they realize that the YouTube short system is such a bad system that you can't even really put out a quality clip. So it does frustrate me because sometimes I would want to say, show gameplay, but then I want to cut to my face cam. I can't even do that. You cannot do that with YouTube Shorts right now. Unless you have a separate video editor and you're doing it yourself, and then you know what I mean? And that's bullshit. So it's funny because a lot of people are criticizing my shorts and saying, oh, they're not very good. Like someone's, oh, why is Phil's face so big on his short? Because the short is me with my camera doing a selfie, as opposed to someone who sat there in a fucking video editor and edited raw footage from their videos from the day. And you know what I mean? It's a completely different situation. What it is most people now think that all YouTubers are the same, and it's just not the case. The vast majority of people who make a living on YouTube actually have paid teams of people behind them. Of editors, people who provide stories to them, people who hype their shit. Like, seriously. I mean, I'm learning so much more about YouTube these days than I ever knew. Most of these people who make a living doing this have all that. I don't. Me, I'm a one-man show, and I do everything myself, you know. These people are like fucking crazy professional teams and businesses, and I don't have that, you know. I never have that. I've always been the one-man show. Very rarely in my 14 years as a content creator have I ever had anyone really, you know, working with me on a project. Very few times. Now, don't get me wrong. It is because of the input of viewers and fans, and it is because of, you know, donations. For example, this border was made by a viewer, right? The emotes that we're using are made by viewers. The artwork that you see on the streams, that's all viewer submitted. And boy do I appreciate that. Because without that, there wouldn't even be a close to an air of professionalism in my content. Because I don't have that know-how or skill, and I can't afford to pay someone to do this kind of work for me. You know what I'm saying? But basically, these other people, they find a way to game the system. They always have. Back in the day before YouTube Shorts, it was make the custom thumbnail, make the clickbait title, right? Use the tags in the video, hit that algorithm by any means possible. And I never did shit like that. I always was the guy who didn't care. I was like, if you're going to like my content, you'll like it for what it is. You're not going to like it because I'm gaming the system or whatever. But to summarize, you know, I just don't know how to implement shorts really properly right now. It seems like the only way people get popularity with them is by not using them the way YouTube intends. They do this outside the box editing and shit to make a good quality short, which I can't do. It's difficult for me to make good shorts because half the time I can't remember. Like I said, I know that song that I did improv during Warzone was great. I know people will think it's funny. I can't remember where it is. I skimmed through 2 hours of footage and couldn't find it. I mean, how fucking long am I going to spend on my day off looking for this one moment? I can't find it at all. And if it's not for people leaving comments and saying, hey, here's a funny moment at this timestamp, and I really like this, I never find these moments, you know? So it's tough for someone like me. And then, when I finally find the ability to get a short, you know, going popular, I don't know why. YouTube doesn't even tell you. Why is this short popular? I want to know so I can emulate that with future shorts and I can get this channel more attention. How does it work? YouTube doesn't tell you. Oh, thanks. Congrats. All your hard work paid off. We're just not going to tell you why. Sounds like a plan. Definitely sounds like a plan. Okay. Plum Girl, the reason that you think that is because you don't understand my perspective. Plum Girl says, I don't think editing and creative content is gaming the system. My perspective is from someone who started on YouTube 14 years ago. Your perspective is not. My perspective is when I started on YouTube, all right, the way that YouTube began was as a website that you do not need expertise, you do not need a budget, you do not need extensive training, you don't need a team, that if you have passion and you have talent, you can make it. That's what was the mantra of YouTube 14 years ago. Remember, this was the era of people like Justin Bieber, who no one had ever fucking heard of, just coming on YouTube and singing, getting noticed by major celebrities, getting signed, and now look at him, right? That was the era. Like, you can make it big if you work your ass off, okay? Today, tell me how making a YouTube short where you game the system, but basically you're bypassing what YouTube wants. There's tools to make a short in this phone. In fact, this is the only way you're supposed to make a YouTube short is with your phone, skimming through your existing videos or making a fucking selfie. That's it. That's what a YouTube short's supposed to be. It's supposed to be like TikTok. What are the most popular YouTube shorts? People who have a dedicated team of editors they pay to sit on a computer, rip the content out of their videos, edit it into what looks like a short, upload it as a separate video, tag it as a short, and then hit the algorithm. That's not even how the system was intended to be used, but that's how people are using it. Now, I'm not saying that's bad. I'm just saying that's not what's supposed to happen. And that's how everyone on YouTube gets popular now. It's finding these ways around everything. And it's the same thing back in the day. It used to be, oh, my video got popular. Why did it get popular? Because of the content? No, because I put a clickbait thumbnail on it with me going, with an ugly face, and then clickbait title, the most extreme blah, blah, blah ever. That's how people got popular back, and it's the same shit. Game the system. That's not talent. That's exploiting dumb people. I mean, it's literally what it is. And it's the same back in the day, and it's the same now. People find a new way to do it every day, you know? But I digress. I'm just telling you from my perspective. You could like that content. I'm not going to tell you not to, but that's YouTube in a nutshell, you know? I don't have a chance. I just don't. How am I supposed to have a chance on YouTube when I have to use the established tools that are there? I don't have a team of fucking people to edit for me and do shit, right? Like I said, I'm reliant on you guys to tag me, to tell me, here's the funny moment so you can even find it so I can highlight it. And then when I get one that I highlight that's funny and it goes viral, I don't know why that one did well but the others didn't, you know? It just is what it is. I mean, I could not be honest, you know, but I want to be honest with you guys about how stuff works here. I'm a one-man show, and yeah, it's tough. It's absolutely tough to be going to have to do this, you know? But I'm just happy. I'm happy that I can still be successful, you know, doing what I do, as small scale as I am. I just wish that if I had a chance to get more exposure, I would understand it, and there's just no way to understand it, right? There you go. Anyway, so please, guys, if you like my content and you find something funny in a video, please leave a comment and leave a timestamp. Say, hey, here's the funny moment. For example, if anyone finds that song that I sang improv during the last session of Warzone, I would love to know where it was so I could highlight it for a short because I couldn't find it yesterday. Okay? Okay.